So I can see how their take on it is, and of course I love Vincent D'Onofrio and anything that he does.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I went online and just looking up some stuff, and people were talking about the character of Tip and about changing from male to female, and I'm sitting there going, just like you said, well, that's in the book. That's a big part of the book. Is Tip is Ozma, and that's how she it leads to so many other things.
Yeah.
But is it only going to be the 2 Oz reviews, or are you going to later on down the road maybe go into some of the other books?
I could. For now, I'm leaving it at 2 videos.
Okay.
Just covering the first 3 books. I'm like halfway through reading the 4th book, and I think like by the time I do that and get to any of the other ones, like who knows? Maybe someday I could read all 14 and then do like more videos, because I think they're really interesting. Not a lot of people know about the books as much as the films. So,
and just the Frank L. Baum ones, not the ones that were done after.
Yeah, I mean, I could go that far, but I for now to at least get the Frank L. Baum ones covered.
Because I was wondering, did you ever see? I want to say Funimation maybe did it back in the day, but they did a Return to Oz animated film, and I think Paul Lynde did the voice of Jack Pumpkinhead in it, and it had Mombi. Have you ever seen that cartoon?
Is it an 87 cartoon maybe?
I think so. I can look it up real quick. I just remember Paul Lynde as Jack Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, I've a lot of people have told me about that, but I might be confusing it. You might be talking about a different one. I'm not sure. But there was, it was supposed to be really faithful, right?
Yeah, it was actually in 1974. It was called Journey Back to Oz.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know.
It was done by MGM. It starred the voice. Liza Minnelli was Dorothy. So,
I vaguely remember seeing that. I vaguely remember the animated version of the Pumpkinhead guy.
So Judy Garland's daughter, Liza Minnelli, took up the role of Dorothy. You had Paul Lynde was in it. Mickey Rooney did the voice of the Scarecrow. Milton Berle was the Cowardly Lion. Margaret Hamilton actually came back to voice Aunt M.
Quite a cast.
This time.
Yeah.
A pretty big cast. Mel Blanc was in it. And it was basically the Journey to Oz. They kind of did make Mombi a little bit more than what she was in the book. She's the big witch now. But it was really a really fun a movie, and it has like I said, it has Jack Pumpkinhead in it, and there was
like James was saying in the review, I'm surprised nobody has picked up this. No movie studios just picked the rights up to all these, and just Pixar would be great doing these. If Pixar started out and did the whole series, that would be fantastic. And I mean, I think they could even get away with doing the original one in their style. It would be completely different from the 39 movie.
Exactly. Like it's different, and they sort of need to do the first one to get to the rest of them. Like as long as you're not like repeating the first movie or but the first movie didn't adapt every single thing that was in the books. Like there's still more material from the first book that they could do.
Right. I mean, just cut the songs. You could put in like the Quadlings or any of the other species of.
Yeah, and since they're all public domain, like there's really nothing. There's no rights to buy. Like it's kind of like, that's a big portion of the budget. That's like not. They don't even have to pay. But
do you think it would be like one of those, like when they tried to do Narnia and they could only, the first Narnia movie did pretty well. The second one did okay. The third one just did not live up to it. So they just decided we're really not even going to worry about the last 3 or 4 books of the series. Or, one of my favorite, the Percy Jackson, they did the first 2 and then said, nope, we're not even going to do the next 3 or 4. Do you think that might happen? So that was just my takeaway from it. Now, Emerald City, I'm enjoying that show. I am enjoying it. I like the differences. I told Chief, because Chief has 2 German Shepherds, I said he'll like Toto because Toto's a German Shepherd in the
I had a German
in it. But what I know, you said that you're giving it a few episodes. So have you what are your thoughts now after a couple more episodes?
Oh yeah, I just saw the second one. But yeah, same thing. Like opinion hasn't changed. Like it's pretty good. I mean, it's like, I mean, I wouldn't say it's like I don't know how to say it. It's just kind of like, it's not great. It's not bad. Like there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not really like, if it wasn't Oz related, it probably wouldn't be sticking out to me. It would probably kind of blend in with a lot of other shows. So yeah, I'm just watching more of it, just see where they go with it and like what they do with, the other characters and what happens.
Like, because I've read there's not even
the
man character in this
was
show.
on like this.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Spin.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say that Sci-Fi had a series that was the Tin. What was the Tin Man or something? I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah,
it was
Man.
some kind of series.
Oh really? Wow.
A couple of years back.
Just the fact that you could just sit down and just be like, oh, hey, there was this thing and there was that thing. Like there's just so much Oz things that have been done for it. And they're all different. Like they're all so different,
That was during the time.
There's never been like a really authentic like adaptation. It seems like there's always been, everybody's had the tweak on it. Nobody's really done like the authentic adaptation of it.
Yeah, like if
that I've ever seen. Maybe there is some obscure Japanese version of it somewhere that I've never seen. Or I don't know, but
very well could be. There's the Turkish Wizard of Oz. There's
it's got Superman in it for some reason.
I don't know. Has Brad Jones done that yet? Has he covered the Turkish?
I don't know.
He's done Turkish Star Wars.
Oh my God, Turkish Star Wars is the best thing ever. Oh my God.
No,
I love all
Chief
those
has
movies.
the greatest. Chief has the greatest movie of all time.
Oh, what's it called?
Oh yeah, Legend of Bigfoot is my favorite of all time.
Oh really?
The Legend of Bigfoot. It's a 1976 Bigfoot documentary by a guy named Ivan Marks, who was found out to be a complete fraud. He ended up making like $25,000 off of it, like some kind of hoax. And it's a really funny Bigfoot documentary from the 70s.
Oh man, I gotta make sure that I've seen that, because I've watched tons of those type of documentaries. I love the ones from the 70s, especially.
I can the whole movie's on YouTube, James. I can shoot you the link here in a little bit on email. I'll shoot you the link for that.
Oh, cool.
His cinematography is just so hilarious. He'll be like, I went for one place I knew Bigfoot would be, and then it's showing him looking out of like over the Atlantic Ocean.
The Pacific Ocean. He's got a telescope literally looking just to the horizon on the ocean. He's like, I went to search for Bigfoot. And he's like looking way out off in the distance. It's the most ridiculous movie ever.
The other day I was having a conversation about Bigfoot with somebody, and we were talking about how like recently, somewhat recently, there was a slow day in the news, I guess, and they had this. There was these guys, and they found Bigfoot in a block of ice, but it just looks like a costume, and like not even a costume with somebody in it, just a limp costume inside of a block of ice. And they're like, oh well, has anybody examined the Bigfoot yet or anything? And they're like, well, it's in a block of ice, so like they couldn't do anything, and like, well, just melt the ice, and And I think eventually they did.
I've heard that they sold it to a guy. They sold it to Tom Biscardi, I think, for like $1 million, and he thawed it out, and it was just a costume.
Really?
In some ice, yeah. And he ended up suing them, and they had to give the money back.
Wow. Because I don't know if it's the same story, but there was also something I heard about where they sent a specimen to the scientists where it was just like, I don't know, they sent them some blood from the Bigfoot, and they basically mixed like possum blood with like raccoon blood or did something like that. And then the scientists came back. There's like, oh yeah, it's raccoon blood and possum blood. Like, you're not going to fool like somebody who can like test DNA.
You got a little raccoon and possum. That ought to come up primate unknown.
Yeah. And
we actually had a Bigfoot hunter on the show last week.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Because the thing about Bigfoot is like, I mean, there just hasn't been anything that like real convincing. But the actual idea of Bigfoot, I don't find that hard to believe. Like, it's just like
exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of like, all right, well, like, I mean, the only part that's hard to believe is that nobody's actually been able to like prove it beyond a doubt, like to actually like, you know, like really find one. You know, you can go to a zoo and you can see all kinds of ape species and just like, wow, like look at that thing and look at that. And just think that there's got to be some missing link that separates them between people and or like connects them between people. And I figure if someone's going to make something up, like, why can't you be more creative? Like, make up like a 3-headed thing that shoots fire and something, but like a Sasquatch is just like nothing that special. Like, I don't even find it that impressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I've always said. That's the one thing out of all this stuff, all the cryptozoology stuff that people talk about. So that's the one thing that I kind of almost think in the back of my mind, because there's a precedent for it in fossils. We have all kinds of different ape-men species through evolution that, who knows, maybe a little section of them got on a mountain somewhere, and like, who knows? But I mean, yeah, everything else is far-fetched stuff. Like, I gotta believe like the Loch Ness monster. People see pterodactyls, but Bigfoot's it's kind of this mundane ape creature. Like, yeah, maybe that could be real.
Yeah, like it's kind of boring actually. It's like but yeah, I always thought of doing a video series about that stuff because like as a kid, I would just like read up anything I could about the Loch Ness monster and stuff like that. So I thought of like doing a video series just called like "Is It Fucking Real?" and then just basically not really going into like research much or anything, but just talking about like does it seem like it would be real? You know, just what's your impression of it?
Well, once you see Ivan's movie, James, you'll know Bigfoot is real.
Okay, you'll love it. If you love that stuff, you'll love. This guy is bitter too. He gets more bitter and angry about the whole situation through the movie, like throughout it. He's like, pretty soon, like halfway, he's like, it's just making me mad. He's like, as he's narrating,
wow,
he's getting angrier, and it's the best thing ever. And he's this angry Bigfoot hunter guy.
So I'll make sure you get. I'll send you that link here in a little bit, because like you're like us. You love anything.
I recommend that movie way too much to everybody.
Yeah. There's also the demon with the killer Bigfoot that rips out people's intestines and stuff.
Although Mark, our friend Mark that we talked about earlier, did make a pretty good Bigfoot film with Exists, which was by Eduardo Sanchez, directed it. The original director of the Blair Witch Project, directed a Bigfoot film, and it was actually pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you, in the woods alone, I can laugh about it now, but if I'm in the woods alone at night and I hear something in the woods around me and I know there's nobody for hundreds of miles, I'm scared to death. I'm worried that Bigfoot is real immediately.
Uh-huh.
So, want to talk a little bit about James and Mike Mondays because it is Monday as we record this, and like we said earlier, there was a new James and Mike Monday today, and I have to thank you for Bobo's Big Adventure because I have now played it all the way through many times, and I absolutely love it.
The best ending of any game ever created.
I laughed so hard. I was like literally in my chair just dying, tears streaming down my face as I was laughing so hard. I'm like, he killed Scrooge McDuck, and I'm sitting there, and I just because I know with the videos you have to edit things, and some things get so playing through it and being able to see some of the stuff that didn't make it into the video, some of the characters or some of the places was just so much fun. And you've been doing a lot more. You've been playing some more online games, some Steam games. You went back today. You got Sonic 2, and I'm sure you guys film all these. Do you film these months in advance before they come out on the channel?
Yeah, usually like twice a month we'll meet up and we'll just play a bunch of games, and like sometimes they don't even make it in. We'll see what happens. Like we're usually like a few ahead, but that always changes. But yeah, it is done in advance.
Do some of the games, like how long sometimes with some, like, because I know if you're playing like doing a full playthrough like Castlevania 4 or something like that, you guys are playing for a long time. Like, is it that just one long game session, or do you break it up over a couple days? Or
yeah, if it's a game that if it can be done in one day, we usually do. So like one game could be like 6 hours or something. But then there's games that go longer, where we just know that, okay, this is going to be like multiple days if we're going to